Night Stalker, the Day Walker, Nosferatu, an angel's doctor, a feared monster. I've clearly conquered your ears, bonker and catch fades and reveal imposters. A weird observer, a near-death experiment, a spike flogger, beta blocker, you fake and awkward, a flying saucer, an 80s author, way before Harry Potter in 1986. In a fanny pack, I can't be bothered. I made the roster, I'm always on her. Waterworld.
All right, with that, Rick, you asshole, welcome to the Support Ruckus Habits Radio Show. I am your host, the DRP. Once again, it's a privilege and honor to be here.
I am the co-host, Rick Dogg.
Boo to Rick Dogg. And today, I'm super excited. My friend and homie, Kung Fu Vampire, is with us today. And I just want to give a shout out to him because he's one of the realest dudes in the underground. What's up, Kung Fu?
We are here, baby.
Yeah, at the Sport Ruckus Habits Radio Show. Thank you for taking some time out today to do this with us. I really appreciate that, brother.
Hell yeah.
So, last time I saw you in person was the Come Dawn tour, I believe in 2019. It was for your record you were in support of. It was called Come Dawn, correct?
You got Come Dawn, right?
Yeah, I do. It's pretty fucking dope. Prolific's actually the one that got it to me. He's a huge fan of yours, and he's like, Don, I'm gonna make you a copy for me. So I got one from Prolific. So shout out to Prolific for that one. But
Nice.
yeah, that tour, you actually had Paxton drumming for you, right? That was you and Paxton on the whole tour.
Yep.
That was a super dope tour. I miss live shows, so that was one of probably the last 5 shows I did was with you, and then we partied for a little bit back at my house, and that's the last time I saw you.
Jameson and I forgot what kind of beer we were drinking, but it was something I had never had before.
Oh no, we stole a bunch of the Mountain Creek beers from the venue we were playing at. But
That's
I
right.
drink.
See, I've never even heard of that. I don't remember the name or nothing.
I don't even know where the hell they got that from because we don't drink that around here. Like
No, but we had a
what
shit.
is it, Canadian or what is it?
Mountain Creek. We'll have to look that up. I don't know.
Do we have to censor that out?
Yeah.
They're not a sponsor here.
Yeah.
They're not a sponsor. If anything, Freedom 45, bro. Trailer Park Boys. Freedom 45.
But that's the last time I saw you. Did you do any shows last year in 2020? Like before everything happened or no?
2020 is the first year since I was 9 years old that I haven't been on a stage.
That's sad, right? That makes me sad.
I was an athlete, and then I went on to be a professional athlete, and even before music, so I was always on some sort of stage.
Yeah.
And so since 9 years old, 2020 is the first year ever with not a single performance. Ever. Which I'm fine with. See, I like to make things positive, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
What were you a professional athlete in?
I was a gymnast. I was a range specialist.
No,
I was also, I did all around. I made the USA national team.
I seen pictures of you doing like the David Lee Roth fucking thing, and I was like, God damn, how the fuck does he do that?
Van Halen.
Yeah.
Yeah, Van Halen.
Yeah,
sure.
I got pretty high ranked in wrestling as a youngster too, and then moved on to martial arts and stuff. But gymnastics, man, I mean, that was by far the most brutal, hardcore, dangerous, physically demanding, insane sport out of anything. I mean, I can't think of anything that's more scary. And I mean, every time when you get to that elite level, one wrong move and you're flying 15 feet in the air to your face or landing on the high bar on your back and breaking every bone. I mean, it's pretty, I've landed on my head and on my face. So it's funny, doing martial arts and fighting and stuff. I'm like, nah, that wasn't shit, bro. Gymnastics.
Yeah.
You get to the level where you're doing rings at an elite level and you're going. Hands are ripping bloody and I mean the whole nine,
Hey, I know if I've had too many to drink and I miss the stage, you could fucking hurt yourself pretty bad. So stage Olympics are just as hard, man, sometimes.
Right?
After a few Mountain Creeks.
It's all fucking slippery up there.
Yeah.
Mountain Creeks. Hey, we were drinking White Claws on stage at that show. I remember.
Yes.
That was only the third time I had ever had a White Claws.
We were not.
You and me were, brother. You and me were.
I was drinking whatever y'all were handing me.
Yeah, I was bringing you some White Claws up there. I remember that.
Fuck, it was refreshing.
Yes, they're good. They're good for stage. Well, you did just drop a new single called These Days, which I got to say that I just listened to it a couple of times right before this podcast show. One, the lyric content in it, the way you spit your lines, the way the production is, the beat, like everything, like the reverb you put on, it's all your production. Every time I listen to it, Kung Fu is like, holy fuck! Like he spent a lot. You could tell you spent a lot of time in the studio perfecting things, and it's a fucking phenomenal song. So, man, it gave me chills listening to it. So, props to you. But you want to talk a little bit about that, the new single?
Thank you, man. Yeah, it's just like kind of an exciting thing. It's what I've noticed I've done the last now three albums at least, 4 albums is I take a lot of time to live life between albums. I'm not one of those guys that's like, I'm in the studio. Like I'm living life. I'm doing shit. I'm staying out of trouble, getting in trouble, doing things, traveling. Yeah. And then I come back and I start, I kind of very organic artist, right? It's one of the main reasons I've never signed to labels. Yeah. Is because I don't like to be put in any sort of time constraint. But the last 4 albums, something I'm just noticing during this interview that I do in fact do is I'll release a song. I'll do a few songs before I'm halfway done with the record. I'll release a song and a video, and these days is that song for the new record. Okay, and we released it. It's about a 7 or 8 month old song, and we just kind of, like you said, perfected it. Action Paxton produced it, and we kind of like just kept going back and forth on production. We didn't want our first song, Busting Back Out, to be anything but amazing. Yeah. So we put that out a week ago. It's doing well. The numbers are doing really well for a single, right? I'm like, that's not really my wheelhouse, to be honest. I normally put out classic albums, not a lot of singles. Yeah. And I put a lot of energy into the record. So to put a lot of energy into a single, it's more for the fans. It doesn't generate a ton of income or any income. Yeah. And so there's a lyric video out now. It dropped a week ago. And then this past weekend, we shot the music video, which I don't have a release date for, but it may be out about right now when you guys are seeing this. But it was a 2-day ordeal, all day, every day. 29 people involved. Tons of staff, tons of actors, tons of extras.
For the video, yeah. Did you shoot?
Who was the best actress in it though?
They were all pretty good. It was a bunch of my friends and shit. They were really impressive. My daughter was the star. My daughter's 9.
Oh, your daughter was
the star of the video.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to slide the love that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say, I mean, she did the most work. Yeah. And she had the most character, and I'm going to give it to her,
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's awesome that you can have, family, your daughter involved in it. I've had my kids on a couple songs and stuff, and those songs mean the most to me over time. I mean, obviously, all music means a lot, but those things you'll remember forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
Fucking dad gang.
Well, let me ask you, since you just shot the video, we just found, you said Paxton did the production for the song?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who shot the video for, who directed the video for you?
So a good friend of mine, his name is Wes Alley. He's out in LA. Yeah. And then 2 fellas that came, Sean and Jacob, came from Idaho. They drove here from Idaho in the winter to come film this. And the credits on these guys will blow you away. So Wes Alley, my buddy, he just got done shooting. He's the lighting director for, he's the lighting designer for Star Wars Mandalorian. So he just did the last season.
No shit.
Yeah. And then Jacob, he was there, editing and kind of dumping all the footage and going over stuff and helping with production. He's done trailers and marketing for all the Marvel and DC, all the superhero movies. He does the trailer.
Oh, no kidding.
I mean, these guys are elite. They're fucking rad. And they came out to do this video. And
so you had top production for this whole thing.
So yeah, front to back. I mean, the weakest part to me is the lyrics. So if I was to judge, if that's me, I'm my own worst critic.
Well, I thought the way you did it, like,
it's gonna be phenomenal if the lyrics are the weakest.
Yeah, because the lyrics, everything you did on that it's. I was like, I mean, you always have your production is always amazing, but I really like this new single a lot. Like, I could bump this in my car a ton. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. It should slap pretty hard if you got subs in the car.
It does. It does, man. It does.
That was a very important thing on this upcoming record is every song needs to absolutely slap. Like, it has to have major bass or it's not making the album.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's shift gears a little bit before we talk more music. Well, this is still music, but the Support Ruckus Habits Radio Show, we like to talk to our artists about, like, you've been a road dog for years and years and years now. You've got to have like a favorite road story, a funny road story. Why don't you give us something, where it was, what you were doing, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Well, I'll tell a little bit of a horror road story.
Ah, yes.
We haven't actually told this story much. It's a pretty low point and a pretty high point all wrapped up.
Sweet.
So we did a small run to and from the gathering of the Juggalos.
Yeah.
We did about 3 shows on the way out and about 4 on the way home. That's something we've done several times, about 4 times probably in my career. Now I've only been touring. I only toured 10 years. I started in 2010. I started in 2010. In 2019, obviously, 2020, I didn't even tour. So I toured for about 9.5 years of my life so far. So in 2000, I want to say that was 11 or 12. Don't quote me, but we had a 48-foot RV, probably the biggest. It's the biggest size RV before it's considered a tour bus. It basically looked like a tour bus. Yeah, and fully wrapped with Kung Fu Vampire, head to toe, and we're pulling a wrap trailer. We ended up breaking down on the way home from the gathering.
Okay. Did you still have shows left to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't miss the shows.
Oh,
but we ended up breaking down. It was the biggest nightmare because we had to leave people in the thing. We had to get rentals. We had to fuck it. It was like one thing after another. It was like the tranny blew and the car caught on fire. And it was like this thing.
Jesus Christ.
It was just like all at the same time. We ended up, so we're outside of Salt Lake City in a small town, or Rock Springs, Wyoming.
All right.
And I ended up having to sleep in a mechanic shop on a couch in the office of a mechanic shop for 2 nights.
Those are always
the
cleanest couches.
2 nights. We were there while they were replacing the transmission.
Oh, God. 1, how expensive was that transmission? And 2, that's the shitty things people don't see from the road that artists have to deal with sometimes, like that kind of shit. But
yeah, it was insane. It was like $1,600 and another 2. It was like $3,600, and obviously it was insane. And we ended up staying there. Me and one other person, or 2 of us, stayed there in the office, and they stayed in the RV while it was being worked on in the shop. And we ended up everybody else drove home, and it was like, I forgot, it was just a shit show. But what we ended up doing is we ended up going to the mall 2 days in a row there in Rock Springs, and we sold almost $500 in merchandise.
Get out of here, for real?
Yeah. So here's the 2 part of that. I'm going to tell another story, because that's such, to some people, they'd be like, well, that's not tits and drugs and like, that's not.
Hey, the mechanic might have had nice tits.
That's a pretty
give us your Motley Crue story, man.
I got those too.
Yeah,
I know.
I know.
Tell another breakdown story because this one's better.
Yeah.
So 2015, we were main support for Twisted's Darkness tour. Yeah. We had gone all around the country and all around Canada with them. It was a 2-part deal. I mean, this was a colossal tour. Colossal. Yeah. We're talking 40, 50, 70 shows. Okay.
Oh my. Yeah. That's
split into 2 tours. So we're coming home from New York. So we're in upstate New York. So that's the last show. Unfortunately, that's just not desirable at all. But when you're the main support act, and by the way, I have not ever supported another act since then. So 2015 was my last support act tour. Every tour I've done on since, I've been the headliner or co-headliner. Yeah. So coming home from that tour, we ended up breaking down in Brazil, Indiana. Okay.
There's no Brazil. How are the Brazilians in Indiana?
Well, very white.
Yeah, they're very light-skinned.
So we're driving on the freeway, 4 a.m. Mr. Gray's driving. It's 20 degrees out. Yeah. My trailer tire just pops off. Yeah. Sparks go flying. The trailer hits the ground. It's flames behind us.
Oh, shit.
We pull off the freeway within 30 minutes at 4 a.m. on a Sunday in a Christian of all Christian towns. A guy shows up. A guy shows up to tow us. 30 minutes. He charges just $40 to tow us to his shop. I mean, that's like $200. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And instantly tows us there. He's this old biker dude. He's hella cool.
Yeah.
We're sitting out there on this corner of this mechanic shop in a little neighborhood.
Yeah.
In the whitest, most Christian town ever. We're a mixture of
That's
races.
scaring
you know
me.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're a mixture of races. We're chilling on the corner. It's 30 degrees. I'm upset.
Yeah.
The guy lets us stay there chilling. So we end up calling around looking to buy a trailer. This is a great story, by the way. We don't find one. It's Sunday.
Yeah.
I look across the street at this house. Now, at this point, residents have come out and they're kicking it with us, right? This resident next door to the shop comes and kicks it with us.
You got fully wrapped van and everything?
Yeah.
Fully wrapped van, fully wrapped trailer with a dead sexy wrap on the trailer. So it was bloody
Yeah.
with me with the naked girl on my lap.
Yeah. I totally remember that one.
So I look across the street and I ask this resident who's chilling with us. At this point, we're playing bongo drums with him out front. We don't know what to do. We need a trailer. We need to get home, right? We don't know what the fuck to do. We're stuck.
Yeah.
We're stranded. I go, what's up with that trailer over there? I kid you not. It was a perfect trailer. It was like 2 feet bigger than ours, white. Perfect. Same shit.
Yeah.
So this guy goes, bro, my ex-wife lives over there and married that guy across the street from my house. They live across the street from each other.
Oh, wow.
He goes, my wife lives over there. That's my wife's husband. He's all right. He's all right. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
And I go, okay. I go, so he stole your wife? He's all, well, he stole her and I kind of didn't give a shit. He was doing me a favor. So I go, wow.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
So he calls this guy, his ex-wife's husband.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I'll be home in an hour and a half. We can talk about it. He comes home. We fucking go over there. And the guy is cool as
Bang
shit.
his wife. No.
He uses this trailer to move his Harleys to shows. But he hasn't used it in like a year. We already found this out from the other dude.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, yeah. He ends up selling it to us for $800, which is like $1,000. It's like $800 under market value. Like
yeah. It was an enclosed trailer. Yeah, that's cheap.
So I get on Facebook, Instagram, and I say, hey, fans and supporters, we have a trailer. All it needs is a freaking nothing. It just needs a part. By the way, we couldn't get the part, obviously, which is why we were trying to buy a new trailer.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the part. It just needs a part. It's for sale. Bro, my feed went crazy. Someone bought my trailer off me for $600.
Oh shit.
He Venmo'd me the money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So now we're sitting there. We were selling merch on that corner. We ended up selling like $300 to $400 in merch. We bought the trailer for $800. We got $600 for our trailer. We got $1,000.
Yeah.
For our trailer and the merch.
Yeah.
And we bought this other trailer.
And you were
Before
on
the
your
guy
way.
even came to pick the trailer up, we were hitched.
Yeah.
Off and running with the brand new trailer. I get home. I sell that trailer for $2,000.
Oh my god, damn.
That's a win.
That's a come up, man.
I mean,
You know how bad that could have been the other direction? It could have been a $2,000 loss.
Yeah.
It was like $1,000 profit come up. That paid for our gas to get home, our troubles, our food.
Yeah.
Now we're friends with that mechanic shop guy and the neighbor. We're still friends with both those guys. Like they fuck with us when we come to Indiana.
That's what's up.
That's super dope. That's a great story.
Dope,
That's
man.
a great story.
That was one of the times we got lucky in life on the road. Like our good energy came back to us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That tour that you brought up that you were on with Twisted, was it Demented or not? Demented.
It was called the Darkness Tour.
The Darkness Tour. Was
Mixed with This Way to Hell Tour.
Was that the one where you got kicked out of the rave for spray painting in the pool?
No, that was 2010, and I didn't spray paint shit, which is even worse.
I don't remember that.
So in
That stencil is
2010,
still spray painted down there.
We showed up to Milwaukee to the rave. Now, that was the Slaughterhouse Tour. That's when Twisted was doing way crazy numbers. That was like 1,500 people.
Yep.
And we're chilling there early because we're road dogging it, right? We're chilling in the van. We didn't have a hotel at that time.
Yeah.
So basically the fucking security dude goes, hey, come down to the pool. You guys can tag your names and stuff. It's all love. Everybody tags down.
Everybody does that. Yep.
So my guys go down. I didn't even talk to the dude. They go down there. I come following down. And we're putting we had a stencil this big. They're spray painting the stencil, writing KFV, this, that, and the other. Some other guy comes down and goes, what the hell are you guys doing? We're like, this guy said we can come down and do this.
Yeah.
Why we wouldn't do it otherwise.
Yeah.
And he's like, I said you could tag with a pencil. I didn't say you could use a spray paint. I'm like,
oh, God.
It's spray painted in here. Everything's spray painted.
Yeah.
The guy throws a hissy fit, goes and tells Twisted's tour manager, and the tour manager and them say, hey, you know, you're off the show for tonight. You're not getting paid. And that was a big show. That was horrible for our first time. And what I call horrorcore capital of the world. We're there for the first time. Milwaukee was real excited for us. They already knew who we were. They bought our records, and boom, we come there first time.
That was the Wicked Whistle era. Yeah,
definitely was. Yeah, that stencil is still down there. We were just there for the Hate Breed show.
Hate Breed show. Yep.
So they still let people tag it up.
Yeah,
we were taking it up.
I
mean, we weren't spray painting. But...
we weren't spray painting. Come on, man. You always got to go above and beyond, don't you?
One upper.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it.
I know.
It was clearly your name.
Yeah. It was just my name. Yeah, I was just watching. But yeah, they just had to do something, so that was our penalty.
Yeah.
That's shitty. Fuck the rave security.
Is that still around?
I mean, yes and
we'll
no.
See.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, it'll always be around.
The history of that place is insane.
Oh yeah. Definitely. I sometimes I'm banned from there, sometimes I'm not. So we'll see what happens when we open back up.
I gotta ask you guys a question.
Yeah.
I've heard from more than one source that Hitler was going to flee to that building, that he had that building built, but I can't find anything online about it.
There's a ton of stories. There is a lot of catacombs underneath the rave. Like bootleggers used to run, moonshine from underneath there.
Well, that's real. That's real. I read that. And then I obviously read that. One other thing I read is that it was the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, obviously, for many years. And then they stopped wanting to go there because the neighborhood got rough.
See, I mean,
that's what I heard. And
all that folklore is
urban legends.
There's pieces of it that are real, but it's not. I mean, it gets we elaborate. I mean, people elaborate on it. It becomes all of a sudden like, yeah, that's true. But it's some. I don't believe all that. But there's definitely a lot of history in that building, and there's been a lot of historical figures through it and stuff like that. So
the kid that died, the Juggalo, died in the pool, right, or in the building.
No, there's been a few.
A kid did die in the pool.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe a Juggalo who died there too on ecstasy.
Oh, I'm sure that.
I'm sure a Juggalo. Every Juggalo concert probably has
someone's dying in there.
Well,
if you only make it to one, you're doing all right. It's a Juggalo
I
show.
think that honestly, being someone who's toured Juggalo tours more than anybody other than ICP and Twisted, pretty much, right up there.
Yeah,
like they can be pretty fucking wild in a good way and pretty mellow as far as like the fights. I mean, Juggalos are really fucking, dude. They don't fight compared to like rap shows, metal shows, rock shows, country shows, like Juggalo shows. They break that shit up. They're like, hey, cool. We're all family. Cool down, and it's pretty mellow, dude.
But there's 90% of Juggalos are just like any other fan base. There's the 10% that are fucking tweaked out of their fucking minds.
Well,
but I love them.
Wisconsin, they're all on cheese curds. And
it's
fucking with their ecstasy trip. They're not getting enough water. So the thing about the rave, though, that's even more interesting is obviously the hotel across the street with Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Now that's not folklore. That is
that's real shit.
Where he lured, I think specifically gay dudes at the bar, correct?
Yep. That is a true one.
Yes. And then fucked their skull.
Yep. That is true. Wicked Wisconsin. Yes. But they had to redo that whole Ambassador Hotel. It's the Ambassador Hotel. They redid that whole thing after that. Like it's a really ritzy like hotel down there now. They had to redo it, otherwise people weren't going to stay there. You know what I mean?
Well, I've only seen it when it was ritzy back in
it's nice
2012 and whatever I was there. I've only seen it ritzy, and it was pretty fucking nice, but it looked like it was original and just redone. I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
but
they put a lot of Band-Aids on everything and gussied it up a bit, but
there was a while there where it was just like basically a dive motel. Where gay dudes or whoever would take Johns and fuck their skulls.
They're like, Rick's back. Hey, Rick, how's it going, buddy?
I mean, it's legendary.
You're a
man.
frequent
it's
flyer.
legendary. I tell people about the rave often. It's very legendary.
We're there plenty of times, and every time like an artist comes from out of state, they're like, "Oh, we want to go over by the Ambassador." I'm like, "They're not gonna let you in. They're gonna fuck with you."
Thing is like I don't ever need to go there ever again.
Yeah.
Like, I liked the venue we were at last time. I'm down for new place. I've been to other places in Milwaukee. Like, I don't need to go to the rave. I don't need to go to Ambassador. I've been there, done that. I never really had a great show at the rave. The one time I had an insane headache. Like, it's just never been amazing. So
yeah.
You know, and it's not to the rave. I think the rave is bitching. It's just it is what it is.
It is, 100%. Moving on real quick. I can't believe how much we've already gone 25 minutes with this motherfucker. We are some chatty Cathys today. That's awesome. Thank you once again for being on.
Well, it's good chopping up with the homie.
Yeah, I know. It's been a while since I've seen you. This is the Support Ruckus Habits Radio Show, sponsored by SRH Productions and Suburban Noize Records. Our guest today is Kung Fu Vampire. Once again, I'd like to, thank you for taking your time with us. I do want to do a couple more quick things with you before we call it a day. I know you got a new album coming out with Buckshot. What's the name of the record? The new Buckshot record with you and
So we got Double Dragon coming out.
Double Dragon
next Friday.
Friday.
This is a pretty big thing. I'm very proud of this project. We put a lot into it. We dropped a single called "Don't Get Beat Up" a couple weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. Yeah. And it's doing well. But the project is insane. I am beyond proud of this record. It's the very first collaborative project I've ever done my entire career. So
yeah, I was just going to ask you, how did it come to be with you and Buckshot? What made you guys decide to do this?
I think he said on the last interview we did that I said we should do a project together.
Yeah.
And then he right away, within a week or at some point, he's like, I love the idea. We should call it, here's an idea. How about Double Dragon? Because he's a gamer, but I'm an 80s guy. Like, I'm addicted to the 80s, like everything 80s.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's obvious. Double Dragon. So and I love dragons, vampires. Like, it's perfect.
It just came together.
Yeah.
And all the visuals for it, fucking awesome.
Yeah, the visuals I've seen for it so far look super dope. Like,
hell yeah, thank you.
The artwork, the ads that you guys have been doing for it and stuff like that for the bundles, it looks super dope.
Yeah, we actually just have like maybe one of each bundle size left. We want to get them all out so people can get them early. Yeah, they're insane. I got my bundle yesterday actually, and I was beyond excited. I just got one to fit me. We want the fans to get them all. We only made 150 of them, so we want to make sure the fans get them all. So I'm only keeping one, obviously.
Yeah.
But I was beyond excited. I mean, this thing has 11 things in it. I think the box that comes in is a Nintendo that's custom that we for us.
Oh God, that's super dope.
It's got posters. It's got metallic stickers, shirt, jersey, cassettes, multiple CDs. It's got a freaking face mask, a hat pin. I mean, this is just, it's ridiculous, bro. And like we spending so much money and love and sweat on this Double Dragon project. But yeah, it's out now.
Yeah, by the time you hear this, it is out now.
It's out.
You're just releasing a new single called Buck Fu. Is that correct?
That's going to be on the album.
On the album, okay.
On the album, the first single is "Don't Get Beat Up." Buck Fu is the first track on the new record.
Gotcha. So first single, "Don't Get Beat Up," and it's also how many tracks are on that?
This is 11 songs, so it's actually a full length. Some people weren't sure if we were doing an EP or a single. It's actually a full length album, and there's a couple different versions as well. So
yeah, very cool.
I always have to tell Donnie, "Don't get beat up."
And then I don't remember because I'm like, fuck that.
Here's the interesting thing about it is like, I kind of don't really make horror music or that type of music. I do have a variety, but I have a tendency because I'm from the Bay. I used to, do more of a West Coast kind of mob, kind of gangster rap style. And he does mob style is literally his record label name. Yeah. And so the record is kind of hard, it's pretty heavy. It's hard hitting, but Don't Get Beat Up is really cool. I wanted it to be the first single because Double Dragon, the video game. Yeah. It's the first video game in the beat 'em up genre. So when Double Dragon was originally released, I don't know when it was. I assume early 80s.
It's got to be 86, 85, 86, probably 86. In the arcade. Yeah.
That was the first beat 'em up video game, which created the genre that ended up being, that went on from there, right? I mean, it spawned the whole genre. So being the first single, Double Dragon was the first beat 'em up. Don't Get Beat Up. It made sense.
Right on. And so basically you recorded at your studio and he recorded out by him?
Yeah, I recorded here with Paxton in Oakland and in the Bay Area here. Yeah. And he recorded in Louisville. You got to say it correctly. It's Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville. Yeah.
Louisville. There's no S.
You know? Yeah. Well, brother, I really do appreciate you being on. Man, we probably could have talked for another half hour. This could have kept going. But I do appreciate you taking the time out. I know you're a busy dude. You're working on new shit. Anything else you want to say to the fans, to anyone out there before we go?
Man, much love to Rick Dogg and DRP. Rick Dogg was the first person to do my charms and stuff for me back in the day, right? Rick Dogg, am I tripping? Is my memory fucked?
Nope. That is
he
correct,
did my
brother.
very first pendant.
No kidding.
And shout out to DRP. Sat next to me on a bench for 2 months on an insanely hot weather tour.
Yes.
Rough van. It was we had some fun. We ate gator pudding.
Gator pudding. Gator pudding with potluck. That's right.
I remember the gator pudding.
Yeah.
We did about 4 damn fucking Florida shows. We were talking about gator pudding.
Gator pudding.
But shout out to Action Paxton, my partner in crime, and Buckshot, my very first collaborative project. Yeah, man, shit is moving, man. Shout out to BC. I don't know if you guys know Big Chris. He's we call him Canadian Mr. Gray. He's my agent up there.
Oh, yeah. Chris Nielsen, right?
Yep. Shout out to my other squad, Clockwork, Mr. Gray. You know what I'm saying?
James Wright gives you a shout out too. He wanted to say what's up to you. So
James Wright. Shout out to Mars. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Force 5. Shout out to Sub Noize. Funniest thing is I hardly know anybody on Sub Noize, bro. The love, the respect has always been mutual. But it doesn't make any sense. We don't know each other. I don't know Zinger. I don't know Ivory, really. I met these guys maybe half a second one time.
Yeah.
We don't know each other. I met KMK one time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the weirdest thing. They live in the same state.
Yeah.
But
there's that respect. You know what I mean? Like
the respect is there. They know who I am. I know who they are. But we don't know. We don't. It's weird, man. So shout out to SRH and everybody. I don't know if I'm allowed to shout them out. I don't know who's.
Definitely
nowadays.
Definitely. we appreciate that, man. We appreciate that.
Chucky
Kung Fu,
everybody, man. James Wright, fuck with him heavy.
Yep, Kerosene Media and James. Yeah, he works for Sub Noize. So yeah, like I said, thank you very much for being on the show. The Support Ruckus Habits Radio Show, sponsored by SRH Productions, Suburban Noize Records. Today we had Kung Fu Vampire on. Kung Fu, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, brother.
Ruckus!
All right, brother. Peace out.
Peace.
And there you have it. Kung Fu Vampire on the Support Ruckus Habits Radio Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week when our guest is.
You got too much
Find
time
out
on your
soon
hands.
enough.
You ain't got no time for romance. Better get a job, you
All
don't
right,
need
peace
a man.
out.
Get the hobby in the 5-year plan. It's 3 in the morning knocking on my door. When you giving up the goods, oh yeah, I'll take more. So cracked out, you sweating up on my flow. I'd hate to see that pretty little face in the city smoke. There's a sicko out there, he ain't living on a prayer. He a maggot with a maggot hat on, yeah. There's a sicko, I swear, and he's picking on squares in a circle of corrupt cons, yeah. I don't know what else to do but put a gun to your dome.